So for this set, we're going to do 5 problems. And the first problem we're going to work on is fractions and decimals, and we're going to do number 17. And in this one, we're taking a decimal and making it a fraction. Okay? So the first thing is, if there's any number in front of the decimal, that's our whole number. So we know our whole number of our fraction is a 1. Then anything behind the decimal goes on top of our fraction. So this one would be 76. And then we draw our fraction line, and then we determine how many places are we. So are we at the 10th or the 100th? We're at the 100th, so we put 100 at the bottom. Then we have to reduce. So we have 1, because that stays the same. And if we divide 76 by 2, and 100 by 2, we get 38/50ths. And we can still reduce once more at least by 2. And we get 1 and 19/25ths. We also could have immediately taken 1 and 76 over 100 and reduced it by using division of 4. And we would have came out with 1 and 19 over 25. Okay, the next one we're going to work on is adding and subtracting of fractions and mixed numbers. We're going to start with number 9. And we are doing an adding problem here. So we are taking 1/4 and 11/7. So negative 11/7. Now, for me, it's always easier to take my problem if they're written this way and put them vertically so that it's easier to do my workout. Because remember, you have to be able to show your work. So the first thing we want to do is make our denominators the same. So in some worlds, it's easy to say, what did both of those numbers go into? For me, I find it easier to just take the bottom number and multiply it, and bottom number and multiply it. Remember, if you do something to the bottom, you have to do it to the top. So this changes this fraction to 7/28, and this fraction to 44/28, negative 44/28. So if we see these two signs together, we know that in essence all we really are doing is subtracting. So we're taking 7 and subtracting 44 from it. Our bottom number is still going to be 28, and if you take 7 and subtract 44, you come up with 37 negative. Is that reduced? No, that's called an improper fraction, so we have to make it proper. So we're going to have, how many 28s are there in 37? There's 1. And if we subtract 28 from that 37, we end up with 9/28. And can 9/28 be reduced any further? And that would be no. Alright, so then the next one is subtraction, which in essence is what we just did because we had a negative number. But again, we write 4/3, 1/2, and we do our subtraction. Now we have to make these common, so make them the same number. For me, I just do this. Others of you may have other shortcuts, completely fine as long as you get the right answer. But I take the bottom number of the second fraction and multiply it by the two numbers and take this one and multiply it down here. So 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now our numbers are the same, and all we have to do is subtract. 8 minus 3 is 5/6. So our answer is 5/6. Alright, reading and writing of whole numbers. Alright, so if the words are written, we are going to put it into number version. So we start with the 4 million, and we find our millions place. And then the last number is 30. So we know that in between 4 million, we were going to have zeros that will represent our spots. Okay, the next one then, we have the numbers and we want to put it into writing. So find this place value, and that would be million, so it's 1 million. Is there any numbers after that? No, so that's your answer.